It is 7 in the morning on a Sunday, and yeah, I finished that book yesterday, and I have to be very honest, I didn't sleep well. And it's not because the book isn't good, it's just because I knew this was going to happen. So, yeah. Hi, hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. I am Justine and this is Bound by Books, where we just grab some tea, sit around and just talk about the books that I just read, how they made me feel, how they made you feel, and just go through this emotional roller coaster that is romantasy together. So today I'm not drinking tea, I'm drinking coffee because I just woke up. Because I finished Onyx Storm yesterday and I need to talk about it. So sit down, get ready with me. But before we start, I would like to point out a few disclaimers. Disclaimer 1, if you haven't read these books, I will advise you to maybe click away from this video, read them yourself, because you really should. If you haven't read these books, read them. Read them, trust me, read them. But I will be giving spoilers in this video because this is not a review, that's not what I do here. I just really need an emotional outlet for how these books make me feel, and that's why I made this YouTube channel. So that's exactly what's going to happen. I will go through these books, I will go through the way they made me feel, and that might include spoilers. So I just want to warn you in advance that that will happen. So if you haven't read them, it's okay, it's totally fine to click away, read them, and then come back and go through this emotional roller coaster with me, because that's exactly the point of the channel. And last but not least, even though everything about this channel screams rest and just cozy vibes and just being calm, talking about these books with some nice hot tea, today's video is not going to be like this. I cannot be calm at the moment with how I feel about how Onyx Storm ended. So if you saw my last video, I actually made a video about the fact that I finished Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, but I was afraid to start Onyx Storm because, well, I was afraid about how it was going to go, and especially how it was going to end, because we all know I cannot mentally handle a cliffhanger. So if you saw that video, I actually ended the video with a certain sentence, which I will just play it again just for the sake of this one. Pray that the third book gives somewhat of closure and there is not a fourth one, and this ends on a plot twist as well. You know, a girl can hope, and I was really hoping in that last video, but then anyhow that hope flew out the window and didn't return. And now we're here. So yeah, just let's talk about the books now, because it's just going to be me ranting again. And this is not because the books aren't good, because the books are amazing. The books are, I mean, if you haven't read them, like I said in the beginning of this video, I mean, I highly advise you to read them, because when I read Direbound and Furybound, they were actually my first books in the romantasy genre, and I was afraid that I was never going to find books that captivated me again like they did. But then, you know, people advised me to read Fourth Wing and then Iron Flame and Onyx Storm, of course, and well, they just proved to me that there are multiple stories that can captivate me like this. There are multiple stories that can make me feel all these emotions, because I felt them all throughout these 3 books already. I laughed, I cried, I got my heart broken multiple times, and now I'm just left in the dark, heartbroken, and I don't know what to feel, so I have to probably just go through this book hangover, and maybe in a couple of days I will be ready to start another book, because surprise, surprise, the last book will only come out in 2027, so I will have to have some patience, which I don't, so that's always nice. So the only thing I'm now doubting about is, will I read a standalone book for now, just, you know, like just to have a beginning and an ending, and to just, you know, treat myself to, you know, some closure, or will I start another series, which I already have ready right here, from which the last book comes out end of this year. So maybe, but at the speed that I'm reading, like I read these 3 books in 3 weeks, so I will be too fast to have that closure with a series already. But then again, if I read the standalone book and also read it within the week, I will have to find something else to read, and then I will start the series anyways, and I will finish them too soon. So I'll just linger with that question in my head at the moment till I find the answer, which there probably is no perfect answer, but we'll just have to go through it now. But damn, Rebecca, yeah, you really did something to me, girl. With these books, you're a damn good writer, I'll tell you that, but you multiple times you just ripped out my heart and then just gave it back to me, helped me restore it, just to rip it out again. And that's exactly what happened yesterday when I finished Onyx Storm. You just ripped out my heart, and then I don't know if you gave it back again, because again, as I told you all in the last video, which if you haven't seen it yet but you already read these books, just go watch it. It's just me ranting and fangirling about Xaden and about these books, and just telling you how afraid I am about reading Onyx Storm. But I told you there that I know that I am wrong when it comes to making predictions about these stories. And I told you in the last video as well that I already knew I was going to be wrong about how I thought everything was going to go, because I'm a hopeless romantic and I love a good stable relationship. Wait, I just like things to end well for everybody. And the thing is, I know that's not an option in these books. It's just weird to already have that happy ending in the 3rd book when you know there is still a book coming. So I knew I had to prepare myself for the ending of the 3rd book. But then was I not prepared for this? I was not prepared for this. Look, I told you in the last video as well that I found a spoiler about Xaden turning into a dark wielder on Pinterest. So I didn't go on Pinterest. It was hard. It was hard because it's my favorite doom scrolling app. It's like happy vibes just everywhere. But I avoided that app like the plague, and I didn't get any more spoilers. So that's something. So, but the thing is, it's just, maybe I should have found some spoilers, because like I did this. Just this ending caught me off guard, like hard, like Jesus, like I didn't know what to feel. Again, I read these last pages multiple times, I think 7 times, and every time I just checked if there wasn't one more page, you know, just one more page with some more information and some more closure for me, but there wasn't. So, okay. Moving on. So as I told you in the last video as well already, I really had a connection to Violet. It was very easy for me to place myself within her shoes, because she really made me think of myself in certain ways. So that was for me already a very easy step to become part of the story and read it in like a very emotional and connected way, you know. And that really was a big part about the fact that I really felt these books, like why I was so emotional in certain scenes why I really had some tears in my eyes. I really cried yesterday, actually. Not really with the ending, but with some people we lost, because Rebecca really is very good in making you connect with people and giving every character in the books their own storyline and their own point of view, which in the first and the second book we have the point of view of Violet, of course, but then yesterday when I was reading the last chapters of Onyx Storm, we got the points of view from multiple people. I will butcher these names, I am very sure, but we had the point of view from Rai. So I was reading these last chapters and they were having the big battle, and which in all three of these books you have like big battles and they last for pages. And I always thought that wasn't a good thing. I always thought like you cannot make a battle last that long. But in a way, Rebecca really managed to make them last so many pages, but keep them intriguing, keep you on the edge of your seat. And when I read the first one, I was like, oh, okay, wow, this is really like a very long battle scene. But then again, I had it again in Iron Flame and then again in Onyx Storm, and to be very honest, I wouldn't imagine these scenes in these books differently, because they are big battles. They are big battles that cannot be fought within 5 minutes. So I really enjoyed the fact that she did that, and she made me realize like, oh wait, it is possible, you know. That for me was like an eye-opener. So we have this big battle scene in the last book as well, and then all of a sudden we change point of view to Rai, which is her best friend throughout all of these books. And the thing is, I didn't realize it at first. So I was just reading, and you know, you have like chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, and then you have like the small quotes on top of the chapters, which in the first book I didn't read. I just started reading them in the second one, which, yeah, I'm sorry, but they really do bring depth to the story, and they really also show you a hint of what is coming. Because if you then start reading the chapter or the chapter after that, you can be like, oh shit, like, yeah, it was in the book, like, oh no, it was the quote. And you know, they give you little glimpses about the future, or like information you need to know, which, you know, like, I'm not going to get it in the chapter itself. So that's actually, it gives you an insight in some things, which I really appreciated it. So I'm sorry, I only started reading them in Iron Flame. That's a fault from me. But the chapters are just chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 27, chapter 48, and I was reading. I was so used to having Violet, and I was just reading, and then all of a sudden she is talking to Rice Dragon, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? I thought she was on the field with the Dark Wielder and I was so confused that I just went a page back and I saw Rai, her name underneath the chapter. So I was like, oh, we're having Rai's point of view now, which hasn't happened in the 2 other books. So I was already like, oh no, we're having other people's point of view. Oh no, we're not having Xaden's point of view. Oh no, this hasn't happened yet. So I was like, something big is going to happen. Like, there is a reason why she is doing this. And then after after the chapter where we had Rai's point of view, which I am sure I am butchering her name, I'm so sorry. But after that chapter, we had Violet again, which I was like, okay, maybe it was maybe it just was because we needed some fresh air, you know, a breath of fresh air. But then after that we have a point of view of Imogen, and I was like, something is wrong. I was already like, my heart was tensing. I was I mean, my heart was beating faster, and I was like, oh no, something is wrong. There is a reason why she is doing this, and I'm not going to like it. When Quinn, I cried in the emotion. I'm being actually very careful not to spoil. I'm trying to not say the exact things that happened, but I cried. I really cried, and it really hit me like Liam hit me, and the interrogation room hit me. Those are like 3 scenes that really got to me. Also her mother, because like her mother was just, you know, I'm a mother as well, and you would die for your children. You would do things that you thought you would never do before you have children, like the love you feel for your children. And that's something that I really captured in that scene, but I wasn't as emotionally moved at that moment as I was with Liam and Quinn, because I mean, we didn't have like this emotional connection between her mom and Violet, but then after her mom, so when everything unfolds, then is the moment we start seeing another side of her mom, but she doesn't believe it yet. And then when she sacrifices herself, that's actually from that moment on we really start to see another side of her mother, which is beautiful, but made me not connect emotionally as much in that scene as it did with Liam. For example, Liam really, it really broke me. Like, actually it started in the beginning, the first book, when they have to cross the parapet, yes, the turret, I don't know, you know, the small wall. And Dylan falls, like she meets Dylan and Rai on the stairs up to the first challenge, and then he just falls, and I was like, okay, yeah, it's this kind of book. It's like this kind of book, like, don't get too emotionally attached to people, because they will be falling like flies. And the thing is, you try not to get emotionally attached, but you fail hard, because there is no other possibility than to emotionally connect with these characters, which I think is beautiful. The brutality of the story really balances out the warmth and the connection you have with the characters. And even though like everyone is a bit different in their way of loving each other, like Imogen is a bit more rough, but she's there. And that's something I really like about these stories. The people, not everybody tells it, but like they're there. So I think that's very beautiful, because they live in a hard world. They live in, I mean, it's Jesus, the academy really hardens you, but they don't lose their love for each other. It just changes, it shifts. So I mean, these stories really had me emotionally attached to the people. And then when you have these scenes where we lose certain people, it really hits. And yeah, that's something I just wanted to say as well. I really cried from time to time when we lost some people. So yeah, I mean, these books just leave me a little speechless, especially with how it ended yesterday. Maybe it's too fresh to make a video yet, because the thing is, I'm overthinking the ending of the third one in my head so much that I am losing the connection I had with the first 2 books. Being if you read them all 3 like I do, like very quickly after each other, I personally stop seeing them as book 1, book 2, book 3, and I start seeing them as just this one big story, which I think is also the main goal of these books. They are just one story, but you cannot make a book from, I mean, you have to divide them in books, so you have the cliffhanger, so you have the emotional roller coaster. You have to separate them a little, but I really don't see them as Fourth Wing, Iron Flame and Onyx Storm. I really see them as one big story, which makes it for me a bit hard to divide the things I feel and the scenes that I really connected to and that really stuck with me. It's hard for me to divide them into books as well. So I hope I'm not the only one who feels this way. If you feel this way as well about, you know, series, let me know, because it really makes it hard to be like, oh yeah, and in the first book this and this happens, and in the second book this and this happens, and in the third book this and this happens. It's just this one big story. And it's the same with the story between Xaden and Violet, which, yeah, my last video was just me fangirling about Xaden, and I'm still here. I'm still a fangirl. I'm still here. I'm still behind him, because the thing is, he grew softer the further we went in the story. He grew softer, but in the same breath, he grew harder, which it's how this is how I felt about the relationship. So he grew softer for her. He told her more that how he felt about her. There was this side of him, very vulnerable. For example, when they found his mom, when they found his mother, he got struck. He showed a side of him that he would never show. So he was very vulnerable in that moment. He was sad. His mask broke in a way that it hadn't before, if you understand what I mean. It was he is very clear about how he feels about Violet. His control slips when it comes to Violet, but this was not about Violet. His mask broke for his mother, and for the fact that his mother, yeah, just moved on from him, just left him on his birthday. That's also something that you learn about, which was very sad, which I thought, like, okay, I understand, you understand more why he is who he is. But he broke in that moment, and he was very vulnerable, and he was very emotional, and it wasn't about Violet, you know. He wasn't towards Violet, like he still opens up in a way to Violet, like he wouldn't open up to other people. So he was still that part of himself towards only Violet, which is beautiful, but it wasn't about Violet. And that was just like, you really had this moment like, oh shit, like he really is just, you know, also someone with emotions who just knows how to mask them very well. So you have that part of him that really grows. Yeah, soft is maybe not the right word, because I don't want to diminish him because of it. He just grows, yeah, he just trusts more, and he just shows more of himself and how he feels. Just the further we go in the story, he really isn't afraid anymore to show it. But then there is this other part of him, the dark wielder within him, who grows harder and stronger, and it's just, he is growing tougher and harder in a way, but then also softer and more emotional in a way. It just, I don't know how to explain it. You really have to read it. And I think if you indeed already read these books, please let me know. Just if you find the words, just give them to me. Just comment them below, please, because you understand what I mean, right? You understand what I mean, right? He's growing more emotional and more open towards Violet, but he is closing up more as well, simultaneously, like in the same moment. For example, when the Irits find them and they see he's a dark wielder, and they say, oh no, hell no, and they are gone, like that moment he breaks. So he shows more emotion than he ever does, but then he also pushes everybody out, and he becomes ice cold, and you can see the development in the books when he's growing colder but he's growing warmer. You know, he does these two things at the same time. And the thing is, you really have your hopes up, because when I ended Iron Flame and he became a dark wielder to save Violet, like I was still holding on hope, and I still am holding on hope. But it's like the book doesn't know what to do itself. So one moment he wields again, then he doesn't, and he can be strong. So it's really this hope is like, it's not within you, but like Rebecca takes it and just holds it in front of you, like close enough to feel it, but far enough to not have it fully. And that's how I felt when I was reading this last book. The hope was there, but it wasn't fully mine, because it was like, okay, it's slipping, then it comes back, it's slipping again, it's coming back. And the thing is, I don't have to worry about them losing each other, because they never will, because they're past that stage, because I know they won't. But then how the third book ended, like, I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. My husband told me yesterday, because he was like, okay, where are you, because he looked up how it was going to end, but he didn't tell me, because he knows how passionate I can become about these books, and he doesn't want to spoil it for me, which I love him for that. So, but he was like, when I finished the book, and I gave up. I was like, there are no more pages, this is really the ending. He was like, yeah, this is what you wanted, right? This is what you wanted, you know? This is the ending you wanted. They got married. This is what you wanted. And I was like, no, not in this way. He literally says, don't come look for me. It's yours now. I have it. I got it. Don't look for me. It's yours now. So the thing is, like, indeed, like, I mean, indeed, they got married. It's what I wanted, because I love marriage and I love love, but like, not in this way. But I know he can be gone, because otherwise there will not be a fourth book, because, you know, it's their story, and it's not the way that I wanted it to end. And I knew this was going to happen. I was holding on to hope that he wouldn't just leave, because he wielded again, and I think he went too far. And also, like, the writers who are missing as well, I think he took some writers to be besides him, so he doesn't lose control fully. I just don't know how to feel now. Why is this book making me feel this way? It's a good thing. Rebecca, you will probably not see this, because I'm just a girl behind her phone, just dealing with the books just dealing with your books. But like, the way you made me feel reading your books, you're a wonderful writer, and I hope the fourth one comes out next week. Could we arrange that? Could we just arrange that it comes out next week, that we don't have to wait till 2027, because I cannot handle that. But their love story was so, it really, yeah, it's not ending. I know, I have faith in them. The thing is just, I have faith in them. I just don't think there's a solution. I think they will have to work with the situation how it is, but I don't think, I'm afraid there is no solution. I think the fourth book, like, this is me speculating, but with how the third book ends, I think the fourth book will be the search for Xaden, the search of Violet for Xaden. She is now Duchess, and she now has the weight of the world on her shoulders again, but she has her brother, she has her sister. That scene as well, I was so afraid for Mira. I wasn't ready to lose her as well. We already lost too many people. And the thing is, I think it will be the search for her to find Xaden, and they will have to find a solution to be together, because I think Violet will not that's the thing. Her dragon is asleep as well, so I don't know what happened there, because their dragons are mated. Did she break the bond as well? Is she not mated anymore? Are they not mated anymore? Because if that is the case, then they don't have to be together anymore. So the thing is, I'm afraid that everything just went to shit. And I had this feeling throughout the third book a few times. So when they, for example, when the Irits didn't want to work with them, I was just like, okay, everything went to shit. And then Andarna left. I mean, then you know, then her den came for her and gave her this chance and fired up the wards, and I was like, oh damn, like, okay, no, we still have this, again, the hope the hope that's not fully mine, but it's there. Like there are always glimpses of hope, but not fully. So I was like, okay, perfect, he came back, the wards are up, yes, we're getting somewhere. And then he's like, okay, I'm taking your dragon, and Andarna chooses to leave, and then there was my hope gone again. It was gone again. And then there is this emptiness, and she feels hollow, and she just crashes, and then you're like, oh crap, everything went to shit again. But then, you know, she pulls through and everything, and then I'm like, okay, we're good again. And then, like, you know, like, it's always this, oh, it's going to shit, oh, it's shit, oh, good. So, you know, sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be bad. So it's this continuously changing of your emotions, but like very, very fast. And then when Andarna comes back, okay, great, like she actually also saves the day. So she came back, and we will learn more about that in the fourth book, of course. But now Tern is sleeping. So what's going on there? We know that Xaden wielded, we know that Xaden channeled, probably more than he ever did, and that will have some impact on his bond with his dragon as well. But I think they were like, okay, are we going to ask her? Oh yeah, okay. So they had a plan already, and they proceeded with it, and of course she said yes, because otherwise they wouldn't be married. So I think that's what they wanted to, that's what they were discussing between themselves. So I don't know, there's just so much happened that we don't really have information. So much happened that we don't really have that much information about. So we knew a lot, we knew glimpses and bits of pieces what happened, but we don't know for sure. But we know her dragon is sleeping, so something big must have happened between the dragons as well, I think. But then again, I'm usually wrong, but I think I'm right about this one. I think the mate bond is broken. I think, if it's even possible. We just have to wait and see. So this was just, I'm sorry, this was actually calmer than I thought it would be, because it's just, I'm just in shock. I'll just say it like that. I'm just a little in shock. I'm just not really, I don't really know how to feel at the moment. I'm just, all the adrenaline, all the tension I was feeling is like just, it left my body. And I thought I was going to be much more emotional and much more, you know, yelling in the mic. Because that's how I felt yesterday, and that was what I was thinking yesterday before I fell asleep. Like, okay, when I'm making this video tomorrow, I'm yelling. I'm just yelling. What happened? What are we going to do? And I still feel a little like it. Like, what are we going to do? What's going to happen? And I'm now fully entered my book hangover. So I just have to go through it and then just start another book and just be patient and wait for the fourth one to have my closure. I hope it comes with the fourth one, because if there is going to be a fifth book, I'm going to be mad. But in a good way. So this was actually very calm, given the fact I'm drinking coffee and not tea. So, but I'm actually very calm. This was actually a very calm video. I'm sorry about the clickbait in the beginning. But yeah, this book really has me. How do you feel about the ending? It really is. I'm just shocked. I don't know. I'm a bit heartbroken. I still have some hope, but not entirely. Like, I just don't know how to feel about it. I don't have the words to describe it. I don't have the words to describe how I feel about it, but it's good. I feel good. The books are amazing. The ending is an amazing cliffhanger, so well done, Rebecca, for this really marvelous job. It's just, I don't have the words for it. And I think that's what she wanted. I think that's her whole goal. But I just don't know how to explain how I feel about the ending. I just told you about it for 40 minutes straight, but I'm a bit lost for words. So for now, I'm going to just have my book hangover, go through it, and maybe in a few days start a standalone book. I think I will start a standalone book. I have The Enemy's Daughter here, which I heard is also a very nice love story, but a bit of a closed door love story, so it's not with the spicy scenes. which in the third book is a lot less, but you know, the anticipation is there. I like the slow burn. I like the patience I had to have to get to the spicy scenes, so I enjoyed that as well. But that's more of like a closed door love story, so it's a bit more tame. It's a bit more about love. It's love focused, so I will give that a try. And yeah, until then, thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for listening to just me ranting and fangirling, and I hope you feel the same. I hope I'm not alone. Just please let me know that I'm not alone. I need some people to reassure me that they are going through this as well when they finish books like this. So please just let me know. I think that's where I leave you for now. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for joining and just being a part of this. Like and subscribe if you like this. We are still growing here. We're still figuring this out. This is all very new for me. This is all a very new channel. This is only the third video actually. This is only the third video I made, so we're still growing here and figuring things out, but I would love to do it with all of you together. So hopefully I'll see you in the next video, but until then, until the next chapter, thank you, bye bye.